Hey guys, David Nuno here, TexAgs Rewind with Billy Liucci. Billy, during the show, I was doing this to you, and you're like, what are you doing with your hand?
I didn't know what you were doing there.
That means wrap it up because we had a great segment going. We had to go to break, but
Once you did this, I figured out what that was. So I don't know what this, but if you just start doing this, I'll know.
You'll know. Finger in the air, no horns down. TexAgs Rewind, we had Tyra Gittens in the studio. She smiled a lot. Billy, she's awesome. Love talking to her. Bank on it. I said the Suns are going to win next two. I know they've lost the last couple. Okay. I think you can bank on that. Mississippi State, we broke them down a bit. And the worst loss that you can't get over, Billy, I know you got a couple.
Well, first of all, I think that series is going 7. I think it's going to go 7.
Bank on it.
I kind of agree with you on the Suns, although I want the Bucks to win. Listen, I'm a Houston sports fan, so I've got the Oilers, I've got the Texans, I've got the Astros up until recently, and I'm an Aggie. So my list of tough sports losses and memorable / wish you could forget sports losses is a really, really long one, Nuno. You know that.
Same here. We both got it. It's TexAgs Rewind.
Hey,
so we haven't met before, but you smile a lot. Are you just happy as a person? This is great. Like, you were so excited about this, right?
Stop.
Not about TexAgs. I'm saying about this opportunity.
Oh, yeah. This is normally me. I do giggle a lot. I have conversations, but I also have side conversations in my mind, and I'm like, oh, I should say that. That's funny. And so, yeah, I do smile a lot, and because I have a lot to smile about, I'm blessed.
You are very blessed. So take me through your journey to get to A&M. How did you end up here?
It's not a crazy story. I wish it was, but I knew I wanted to be SEC, but I canceled out a lot of schools. And so my top 5 were Georgia, Arkansas, Tennessee, here, and somewhere else. I don't remember.
Not good enough.
Georgia, Arkansas, Tennessee. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
That's all right. We got 4. We got
Alabama.
4. Okay.
Alabama. And I went on all 4, and A&M was my last one. And honestly, I verbally committed to Arkansas. I'm embarrassed. But I verbally committed to Arkansas. And then something told me, I was like, Tyra, just go to Texas A&M. Just go check it out. I was like, okay. So I came down here, and as soon as we got to the hotel, as soon as we came here on the campus, I was like,
You knew.
I think I'm supposed to be here. It was nothing that was like, oh, I love the vibes, I love the atmosphere. I did, but it was more of the feeling of this is where I need to be, and I did want to be there, but the need kind of trumped the want, but the want kind of developed as I stayed here for the years that I've been here. I love the school, and I have 100% no regrets.
Yeah.
Everything about it. I love the culture, I love the traditions, and it's awesome.
So how do you prepare after having such a grinding season and finish to the season, and you got the Olympics coming up? Do you take some downtime? Do you stay what is your methodology here as we get closer?
A lot of Netflix binging.
Good for you.
A big part of recovery is not just physical recovery, it's mental recovery. And for me, one thing that I've learned about myself, I cannot fully recover unless I shut my brain off 100%. And binging Netflix, that does it for me. I have my dog next to me. I have my glass of wine next to me, and I'm watching a lot of Netflix. Right.
Others don't put him as a top 10 coach. I think he was ranked number 13. People don't see him at the... What is it about Jimbo that you can't get on and be like, yeah, this guy's done it at A&M, he's done it at Florida State. He hasn't won a national championship here, but he's won every game he's supposed to. He is, without a doubt, one of the best coaches in the entire country.
That was my whole thing. The Brando about Alabama didn't bother me at all. It's Alabama. If you don't think A&M's to where Alabama is yet, that's great. That's fine. I don't really disagree. I think they're getting there. Mac Engel, I hate to give him any mention, but of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, he took a shot at A&M this week and said,
did he?
Well, he goes they're hot. He always does. He knows it'll get a reaction. It's a lot of newspaper people, that's what they're reduced to now, is to try to
anger this base.
And it's like, they're getting boxed in by what's happening now. But Engel said A&M's basic, for a paraphrase, say light years behind Alabama, but has done a better job than Texas. And basically said A&M can create a national title out of an Orange Bowl win and a top 4 finish. No one's trying to create a national title. All they're saying is, in the argument against Texas, it's no comparison. It's your mic drop. That's what it is.
Yeah, right now,
I mean, the
absolutely.
Texas fans, these are the same jackasses that were celebrating. They forget that 2 years ago they celebrated a Sugar Bowl win over Georgia without half their team. Now they'll say, well, Carolina didn't have their 2-star running backs. Well, Georgia didn't have half their team. And by the way, you guys celebrated we're back and that thing by your quarterback. You guys lost 4 games that year. So you tried to shove a 4-loss season down everyone's throats. And you're saying that A&M in a 9-1 year where their only loss was to Alabama on the road, and they want to that's something not worth sticking your chest out about and walking around with a little more confidence, especially as compared to any of these teams in the state and the years they had last year. So to me, it's not just Jimbo, it's also A&M that it's like the combination of the coach and the school that everyone tries to discredit and that everyone wants to keep down. Here's the deal. Jimbo in big games, I mean, I watched him win like 28 in a row at Florida State, and people go, well, that was with Jameis Winston. What has Jameis Winston done? He didn't do it with Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or even Eli Manning or Matt Ryan. Like, what has Jameis done to say, or even Tebow or Cam Newton or, I'd say Cam Newton would be a better example because he's done it in the pros and in college. Jameis was an amazing college player, and he's been a solid. He lost his job. He's been a solid pro. I think he could have a rebirth maybe in New Orleans, but it's not like you handed him a top 10 quarterback of all time here.
Today I'm banking on, though, unless you're ready. You got something?
I got one because of what you just said. I'm banking on the Suns to finish it off.
Okay.
I think Chris Paul's not going to have another atrocious game. I love Chris Middleton. I'd love to see him score 40 again. I don't know how possible that is, considering how many other people have scored 40-point games in the NBA Finals. I'm going to say Chris Paul's going to have a great game to take the lead 3-2, and then they're going to close it out on the road in Milwaukee. Bank on it!
Sun's rising.
Sorry for yelling. I apologize.
I'm banking on the Big 12 calling about 100 penalties this year on people for doing the horns down. I mean, has it gotten to this that the folks in Texas are so sensitive that now the Big 12, everybody knows they run the Big 12, but the Big 12 is now going to call a penalty?
What a loser conference.
If you're doing the horns down, should you then call a penalty if you're doing the horns up?
You should, because you're talking trash, right? Apparently. Oh, you can't be disrespectful to the opposing team you just scored on or what? Come on. It's dumb.
So, but I think it'll be in the fourth quarter. Like if, say, Oklahoma or anybody else has a comfortable lead,
right?
I'll take the 15-yard penalty.
Look, and I know there were other things that they're talking about. They don't want you to be flamboyant about it, do it in someone's face. I get all that. The fact that it's even a talking point to me
it's pretty silly.
Yeah. I mean, do I want somebody giving me a thumbs down here at Kyle Field? No, I don't.
But they do it.
But they did. Just whatever. It's part of college football. The wussification of college football needs to stop. It is happening. Like, horns down. You go up to Sark and do it in his face. Yeah, I get that. But you do it at the end zone to the fans. That's great.
I wonder if what's that? I wonder if people are going to start doing it. If you beat Rice, you're going to start doing the dying owl.
Right.
No, actually, I would give you extra points if you did that.
So what did they do to the Baylor Bears? What is
Let's see, sick 'em Bears. I guess it'd be like, when you're going to shake somebody's hand and
then you take it back.
And then you take it back. And
one of the things that I have seen over the years with a Mike Leach team is they don't get sacked very much. But last year, there was some pressure without a doubt. How dysfunctional is that offensive line? Is it an injury situation? Why were they so poor there?
Man, if I knew the answer to that question, I'd make a lot more money. They were so bad a season ago. teams were only rushing 3 against them for the most part, and they still couldn't get protection. And they've got some talented guys, Quatravius Johnson, whose nickname is Dollar Bill, one of the better nicknames in the conference, was a 4-star guy. Charles Cross was a 5-star guy at left tackle. I've seen some mock drafts having him go in the first round early on this year. They've got some talent there. I don't know what it was schematically that they weren't able to pick up on. But if they're not better this year, then what are we talking about? That State won't be able to do anything offensively.
Do you feel that the type of offenses that Mike Leach has been able to produce throughout the years now have kind of leveled off because everybody in college football is airing it out, right? Or has he still above the cut?
Well, I mean, that's a good question because, like you said, everybody's sort of doing it and everybody's taking principles from it, and nobody's just lining up in the I formation anymore and running the ball 40 times a game. So it's a question of what are you doing with it? If you have superior athletes, you look at what Oklahoma likes to do. I mean, they run a lot of air raid concepts, but they also recruit top 5, top 10 classes every year. So, I mean, they have great athletes.
So apparently it's my first day on television and Billy's as well. We keep looking at the wrong camera.
Well, I mean, I've got an excuse because I didn't work for Channel 13. I would think of all people that would know that
I
would
should
be
know.
you. But I don't.
I'm used to somebody pointing at the camera. All right, it is TexAgs Rewind.
Which one? Red.
We're looking at red right here in the middle.
Red is good, white's bad. Don't look at the white.
Hit the subscribe button, please. Go to texags.com/subscribe. We love it. Good job, Billy.
All right.